I was asked the other day when I'm planning to have a second child. Now, I don't know if it's from too many years in therapy, but I have acquired this tendency towards brutal honesty. I say what I'm thinking and I say what it is that I'm feeling. And so I responded with the truth. I said that I wasn't actually sure if I was going to have a second child because I was still very much recovering from having the first. And I was met with what I perceived as a really judgmental and unnecessary, although I'm sure well intentioned, response. Basically, this person said that my son was going to grow up lonely and that it may affect his social development. Now, I wanted to hit the floor with shame and guilt and sadness. I felt paralyzed in that moment, thinking straight away, I'm doing my son a disservice. I'm already letting him down. I'm a failure as a mother. Now, anybody who knows my specific circumstances knows that I have struggled with various mental health issues over the entirety of my life, and pregnancy exacerbated a lot of those issues. I really struggled with prenatal depression and anxiety, amongst many other things. And it was a really challenging time for both my partner and I. And then my little baby came along, and I was hammered with postnatal depression and anxiety, amongst many other things. And my transition into motherhood was somewhat of a shit show. I mean, I really found it difficult. I'm a person who needs to put a considerable amount of time and resources and energy into managing my emotional experience, into self-regulating, and into looking after my mental health. And when all of a sudden you are given this 24/7 job, this little ball of dependence, it can be so overwhelming. And I went through a whole myriad of emotions. I'd go from resentment to absolute euphoria to sadness to complete and utter isolation to feeling confused. And it was just this ongoing exhaustion. I mean, it just never stops. It's your loneliest, never alone time ever. And I had incredible support from my partner. And as I said, I still found the whole thing really, really challenging. And it's only now that I can see how much I have grown as a consequence, and the ways in which it has allowed me to develop as a person. I mean, motherhood will change you in so many beautiful ways. And I think it has brought me to an inner truth that I didn't even know existed. And I will be eternally grateful for my child. I love watching him grow. I love watching him develop. But I'm not entirely sure that I want to revisit that shit show. And that is my choice. It's just being a little bit more considerate with suggestions and with well-intentioned advice, because you know nothing of the personal and private plight of any individual. I mean, women are already working under the pressure of a patriarchal system. There is so much judgment on our bodies, on how we look, on our career choices, on the way we choose to parent, the way we engage in our relationships. And what we do not need is the extra pressure of people assuming that our choices are wrong, even though they are our choices. And it's about giving women the freedom and the support to make the choices that are right for their particular circumstance, instead of making them feel bad for not conforming with what society's assumptions for what a perfect woman and a perfect family looks like. If you would like to work with me on an individual basis, get in touch with me on the website. It's fundamentals.ie.